All right, guys, welcome to day 4 of our Yoga for Better Sleep Challenge. So we're going to be doing a lot of more kneeling poses, but still pretty gentle. So I do recommend you actually do start on your mat, unless you do have a firmer bed, things like cat and cow, child's pose, that kind of stuff. So let's get started in Shavasana. We're just going to take a few calming breaths here. Hopefully you're nice and comfortable, almost ready for bed. Nice big deep breaths here. Just maybe giving your head a little rock side to side. Releasing any tension here in the neck and shoulders. Taking a nice big inhale here. And as you exhale, melt a little more into your mat or your bed. And then find some stillness here. Setting your intention here for relaxation. Focusing on breath. And shutting the rest of the mind off to help us sleep a little bit better tonight. Alright, when you're ready, I'm going to inhale, lift both arms up overhead, clasp the finger, point the toes, and just reach up. Nice full body stretch here. Exhale, release. And just bring those arms down into a nice cactus, 9 degrees at the elbows and armpits. Just see how this feels. Feeling any tightness or tension, especially across the chest and the pecs. Just a little opening. If you want, you can pinch the shoulder blades together just to lift a little bit more that chest to the sky. But it should be nice and gentle here, like everything else we do today. When you're ready, I'm going to reach my arms up overhead again. I'm going to roll onto my left side body, and I'm just going to press myself into a nice tabletop position. So like I said, a lot of our quick little flow here is going to be in this kind of quadruped position here. So just find that nice neutral spine, lengthen out right from the crown of the head, right down to the tailbone, reaching the neck long. And maybe lift all your fingers up, spreading them nice and wide, putting one down at a time. And let's just curl the toes under just to make a little extra connectivity with the earth here. And when you're ready, take a nice big inhale. Let's come to cow, lift the chin, sink the back down. And as you exhale, tuck the chin into cat, press up through the palms around that back. And just going at your own breath pace, really exaggerate the lift of the tailbone here. Really press through the hands as you come into cat, so you stretch that upper back. We're going to do 2 more. Last one. Moving nice and slow today. Last cat. When you're done, we'll all just meet in a nice tabletop position. I'm just going to send my hips to the right and look over my right shoulder. Just a little lateral bend here in this quadruped position. Back to neutral. Let's go over to the left, hips to the left, knees to the left. And again, you're going to move at your own pace, inhaling over to the right, exhaling to the left, taking it nice and slow though, so slow down that breath pace. So you can always have an inhale one way, exhale the other way. One more each side. And if you feel any knee pain, moving on your knees too much, you can always fold your mat over, use a blanket or something. Let's come back to neutral. We're going to take some hip circles right down, right through the spine. You can kind of move in any direction you want. You can move forward and back. You can move up and down. Bring it a little to the hips. I'm going to choose to do nice big circles here, forward and back. Just watch your knees if you're doing what I'm doing. Let's switch directions no matter what option you picked. So just moving feels good to you. Keeping that gaze nice and focused right on your mat, right just above your fingers. Let's come to some stillness here. I'm just going to curl my toes under, lift the knees, and bring the mat width apart as the big toes come together as I exhale into a nice wide-legged child's pose, dropping the head, forearm to mat, palms face down, pressing just a little bit into the mat, and then release your entire arms so you can melt right into your mat. No pressure here, no pain, so make any micro adjustments at any time you need. Focusing internally, thinking about how your body's feeling in this moment, maybe how your hips are feeling, and maybe you're focusing on that connection point with your forehead to the mat. Whatever it is, just find something to focus on here, whether it's your breath, sound, a feeling. Let's just take one more big breath here. Good. As we inhale, let's come back up to tabletop. Readjust your hands if you need to. Bring the knees in. We're just going to do a nice little calf stretch. So I'm going to lift the right leg straight at back and then just drop the toes to the mat. Make sure all 5 toes are on the mat. I'm going to really try and push that heel towards the ground, feeling this nice calf stretch here. Keeping the neck and spine long. Just looking down at your mat. We're just doing this one little calf stretch here. So you can start doing just a little micro windshield wiper with that heel, just seeing how that changes the stretch. Maybe you find there's a point that is particularly sore, you can hold it. So we're windshield wipering right through that hip. Keep trying to press that heel down. And then let's bring the right knee back to the ground. This time we're going to lift the left leg straight out, flex the foot, drop all the toes, and press that heel down. Good. Again, if you want, you can add some little windshield wipers here. Just a little side to side. Doing whatever feels good for that calf. Moving side to side right through that hip socket. And the back flat core. So we just a little engaged, a little tight. Good. Release the knee back down. I'm actually going to bring my knees together, bring the feet together. I'm going to send the hips back down. We're going back into a narrow child's pose. Drop the forehead. I want you this time to bring the palms by the side of the legs facing up. And let your shoulders collapse and roll down. Oh, this should feel so good. Nice release through the entire spine. It's kind of funny, we naturally tend to form to this hunch position, but now we're doing it again, or with gravity. So it does actually create a nice little release for us. That's it. Try to let those shoulders roll all the way to the mat. Don't worry, they're not going to get there unless you're super flexible. That's kind of the end goal. And this nice release. Keeping your forehead on the mat, let's bring the hands out in front of us. Just inhale, lift the chin, lift the chest just a little bit, and still press the armpits towards the mat. Just see how that changes the stretch in that upper back. Good, one more breath here. All right, I'm gonna come back up to quadruped position, then I'm gonna roll onto my back. So this is the part where I invite you, if you wanna get relaxed and comfy in bed, ready for bed, I do recommend you get rid of the pillow at least. Just lay nice and flat here. We're just gonna bend our knees in and just lift the hips up a few inches, curling the tailbone, just tuck the tailbone. Feel the nice little squeeze of the glutes. The core engages. And slowly just let that spine roll back down. And stick that tush out so that tailbone's trying to make connection with the earth. So you have that little bit of space with that back. And then let the spine melt. Alright, I'm going to lift my hips up again, but this time I'm going to bring them just 2 inches over to the left. So my lower body is a little shifted. Taking a nice big breath here, just see how that alignment feels a little odd. I'm going to take the right leg, cross it over the left leg. I'm going to let the knees fall over to the right side here. You can look to the left if you'd like. Letting those shoulders relax. Just breathing here. You can have your eyes closed or soft. Whatever's more comfortable for you. Especially if you got a bright light staring down at you. Just take one more big breath just like this. And let the legs come back up and cross the legs. This time, just bring the hips back to central. Just feel the spine realign. And lift the hips up and move them over to the right side 2 inches. You can just see how that you can feel your spine alignment just a little off. That's okay for the sake of this pose. So I'm going to cross the left leg over the right, just like I'm crossing my legs. Letting the knees fall towards the left. Letting my gaze turn towards the right, only if you want to. Just a nice easy spinal twist here. Still breathing. Letting your mind come to singular focus, remember. And try to shut it down for the night. And let's bring the knees back up and cross the leg and just bring the hips back. Find that nice neutral spine. And let's tuck the hips up just a little bit. So my full lower back is pressing the mat if you can, and I feel that nice core engagement. Exhale, release everything. Just find that nice relaxed position. And I'm going to walk my feet out as I let the legs fall apart here for Baddha Konasana. I'm going to bring my hands to my inner thighs. Just to add a little extra weight. I'm going to encourage everyone to close their eyes here. I know one of my biggest issues is letting that mind stop thinking. We've got a million things to go and do. Things we want, things we have to do. So we're going to spend a few extra breaths here in the Supta Baddha Konasana. I want you to find a focal point. Like I said before, it can be breathing, a sound, like we've got a fan going here in the room. And it kind of annoys Ryan that he hates that tick, but it is methodical, almost lulling. It can be a sensation, or it can even just be where your hands are making connection, or your body connects to your mat or your bed. I want you to explore that one singular thing. So all the other thoughts fall away. If it's your breath, you can focus on how big you can expand to inhale and how much air you can exhale. Maybe even play around with the depth and the speed. If it's a sound, you can think about what that sound means, if it's pleasant or not, where it's coming from. If it's any kind of connection or sensation, just see how that feels, how it makes you feel. See if there's any micro adjustments you can make here. Just a few more breaths into this sensation. While still breathing here. It's okay if you don't want to keep your eyes closed, but I do recommend it. Last breath. And then whatever that sensation or thing you're holding on to, let it go here. Just focus on letting your legs come straight. I'm going to come back to that nice cactus pose here. Arms at 90, armpits at 90. You're going to just let your shoulder blades pull down just slightly. Maybe adjust them and then pinch them in just a little bit. Again, lifting the heart. You're going to spread the fingertips here and lift the chin just a little bit towards the sky. And I want you to press your fingertips into the mat or the bed. Just see how this little active stretch changes how your body feels. It's your last pose here, so really enjoy it. And if you'd like, you can just take this passively here too. Breathing here to whatever pace suits your body. If you like, you can stay like this, or you can bring your hands back down into Shavasana. Just a few final breaths. Letting your hands go as wide as they want. Letting your feet hang loose. Getting ready for bed, maybe you tuck the blanket over top. It's pretty hot in our house, so this is just fine for us. Again, acknowledging that our brain is a wonderful tool that keeps us going, keeps us creative, thoughtful, and wonderful. But sometimes it's hard to turn that wonderfulness off. Finding a single focal point can be a great asset into helping relax our body and mind. So I encourage you tonight, if you're not quite ready for bed, or if you're not quite tired and sleepy enough, if you find your mind wandering, try and go back to that nice focal point exercise where you focus on that sensation or feeling, your breath, a sound, anything. I like to tell myself, inhale and exhale. I know I've told you that many times. That's how I shut all the other thoughts and noise out in my brain. And usually those sensations and thoughts can be very calming to us. So give it a go, see how it is. And I wish everyone a good night's sleep. Everybody remember your hand prayer at heart center. Getting ready for our final sleep here tonight. Thank you for sharing your energies and practices. Hopefully through the virtual world we are helping calm each other down one by one. From the light of me to the light of you. Namaste. So if you're in your final resting place for the night, you can just shut this off. Otherwise, move slowly, do what you need to do, and hopefully you're off to bed soon. So have a great night.